Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we'll begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, where it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Adrian, Megsy, Chloe, Jade, Harlot, People Me. We have Ro. There you are, Ro. We missed you the last live. Hello, Alaskan Amber, Michelle, Grandma Cece. We have Free Side. We have Mindy, Petunia, Natasha. I hope you had a wonderful birthday, Natasha. Dog Mom, Kelly P, 87, Con Artist, Chloe Jade, Adrian, Fragrant Anxiety, welcome. Simply Complex, Shell's Journey says, have you all wondered why we are so stuck on Leticia's crap? I feel addicted and I don't know why, but I'm glad that there are others like me. We ask ourselves all the time. Hi, Carol, Dog Mom. Yes, I was going to talk to you guys about this. So I don't know. Hi, Olivia Only. Cheryl, I shared it out this morning. Hi, Mindy, on my community tab. Hi, A for Adventure. I shared it out on my community tab earlier this morning, or it was this afternoon. I don't remember. But Sarah Boone, bitch is parched. Shit, I cursed. Oh, I just cursed again. I cursed and we're only 3 minutes in. But Boone is parched, okay? Because she's already having issues with her most recent attorney. Did you guys see that? No, I apologize. Listen, I ended up not going live last night, but I had it wrong the last live. So I was so stupid. And when we transitioned in from May to June, like 2 lives ago, and I was like, okay, the last call was May 30th, and it was like a really manipulative gaslighting phone call, Harley, where she was acting crazy. And then we started June 1st and everything was fine, and it did not seem to flow. That's because it didn't flow. I started playing calls from June 2020, not 2021. So I apologize. I am an idiot. My deepest apologies. I should have known as soon as she started talking about Chance and stuff, and Charlotte, because you guys even heard me say she made up with Charlotte. Like, what's going on? And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. So we played a couple of calls, but it was from June 2020, not 2021. So I feel really bad. I'm really embarrassed. I almost want to take that live down, but we mess up. We as in me, we as creators though, we mess up, we make mistakes. I apologize. Thank you, Dog Mom. But you guys are just so supportive. Thank you so much. Dog Mom just gifted a membership. Congratulations to whoever received it. And Crime Crochet busted herself out and became a member. Thank you so much. And welcome to whoever received the membership. Please thank Dog Mom in the chat, and welcome Crime Crochet Cafe. But thank you for being understanding, guys. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I ended up canceling last night. By the time I got home from work, I was absolutely exhausted, and I just went to bed. And then I just got home like an hour ago. I was over at Deets, and then I real quickly was eating dinner, and then I got on as quick as I can with you guys. You don't like being gray. Nobody likes being gray like Tisha's legs. Okay. Hi, Aries. Don't fret over it. We are here for you. I know. You guys are absolutely amazing. Mindy, you guys are the best. Thank you. Mindy just gifted a membership. Congratulations to whoever is the recipient. Please thank Mindy. Hey, honey. Woohoo. Hi, Sherry. No, you didn't miss me, Julie. Hi, Michelle. Honestly, it's been a crazy last few weeks. I told you guys that my daughter is graduating elementary school, and so it's all of the end of the year activities. Today they had the academic picnic, and so I was there all day, and it's just been very chaotic, exciting, just very chaotic. So with that and work, just a lot. And so I wanted to try to get on to, for Patreon today, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I'm going to schedule that when I get off the live tonight, because I want to schedule that a day in advance for you guys, because I think it's easier. Because I still don't understand how Patreon notifies you. So I'm going to schedule that out when I get off tonight, and we will be doing the 9/11 episode tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, 87. Yeah, I do work. And then I come on. That's why I usually come on around like 7:30 Eastern. I'm usually just getting home from work. Thank you, Michelle. I don't say gray long. Yeah, Tony, we have a very, very generous community here who look after one another. Sunday. Darlene, you guys, Darlene just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Congratulations. We have 5 legs that are not green. That are green, that are not gray like Tisha's legs. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Please thank Darlene if you received one. I'm never going to get past the hellos. You guys are just so amazing. Megsy says, no one tell mom I'm not at church. No dibby-dobbing here. I don't know what dibby-dobbing is, but your secret is safe with us. Hey, Amber. Oh, Shell's Journey. That's so kind of you. Thank you. But okay. So I know that you guys have been mentioning for a while wanting to go back over the Grusing interview. So I figured that's what we would do. If anybody isn't familiar, FBI agent Detective John Grusing. Hi, Starlight Angel. Hey, Lucia. Ooh, we got a crush on him. We love Grusing here. Grab your peanut butter, okay? This one's going to be creamy. That was cheesy, okay? But we love Grusing, okay? When Leticia was first arrested and charged, it is about 5 hours of insanity. And if you think all of the calls and you think all of like everything is, how do you think she acted when she was actually arrested? Exactly how we know she fucking acted when it all came to a head. And every story in the moment that she could think of, including the threesome with Angel, came about. Yes, Harlot, but I deleted it, Harlot, because when Allie and all of the other channels got hit for like reused content, I got so scared. So any live where I played any other content besides just me talking, I took down and I deleted it because I got nervous. But we've gotten so many different people who weren't here for that, and I was like, all right, I'll go over it again. So it's really, really interesting, though. It's really, really interesting, especially having the case files in mind, having incident reports in mind, and having these calls in mind, to kind of like take a pause real quick and do the interview. And I'm really excited. No, you're not crazy, Harlot. You're not crazy. I just took it down and it's not there anymore. And he was excellent in this. He was excellent. And I want to observe, there's other things I want to do besides just listening to it. I want to observe her body behavior too, and go through the body language of it all. Oh, yay, Crime Crochet. I'm excited. Okay. So before we even get started, okay. All right. So before we get started, yes, honey M, yes. Are missing. Oh no. Hey. Why does my thing do that? Hold on. Excuse me, sir. You cannot crash. I'm trying to do something. You haven't, Olivia only? Oh my good Lord. Oh, this, I cannot believe you. If you've been a Tisha follower and you have not seen this interview, this is when she, okay, you have to keep in mind, she pretends she's, at this point, she's pregnant. She claims she is pregnant. She has claimed she is pregnant. Hi, Yvonne. She has claimed she is pregnant leading up. How many of you guys were here when I went over all of the messages between Al and Leticia? Well, it was between Leticia to Al, but it was the days leading up to her arrest, because you have to have that in mind right before this interview happens, because it was in the days and then hours leading up to her arrest. So it gives the state of mind that, and I've went through them all. I've dropped the episodes on them. It really helps depict where Leticia was at mentally. The things that she was Googling. We put a side-by-side up of what she was texting Al compared to, hey, Bendy, compared to what she was Googling, you guys. So, and hold on, why is my thing out? Okay. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for my thing to not glitch. Oh, baby, come back. You can put it all on me. Have I been muted? Okay. We're going to do it all again. And I apologize. So, it's going to be one of those nights. Huh. Our missing child of the night. Sorry. Our missing child of the night is Oliver Acosta Vasquez. He has been missing since April 28th, 2002, out of Center Reach, New York. He is 6 years old. Oliver, and I had said, I love the name Oliver, is a missing child. He is believed to be with his non-custodial father, Jose Acosta Manuelas. They may travel to New Jersey or Michigan. This is a photo of his father. He is 35 years old. If you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please contact the New York State Missing Persons Clearinghouse at the number located in the blue text. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm having tech issues and then I left myself on mute. I'm sorry, guys. So Oliver is a cutie patootie. It's really hard, honestly, even going through the database for the missing kids and seeing how many there are, because I go on every day to pick, a new child that I'm going to be doing for the live. And there's more every day, every single day. I love the name Oliver. I love the name Oliver. But okay. So, did you guys answer me as far as put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar? Because before we do this, I want you guys to have the text message exchange between Leticia and Al fresh in your mind. Or if you don't, do you need me to kind of like scroll through it real quickly? Because we're going to start it tonight. We're not going to get through it all. It's a very long interview and I want to be off within an hour because Bendy and Allie are going live at 9. But if you guys are familiar enough, we'll just jump right into it. But if you need me to refresh, I'll pull it up to refresh it. Did I say put a 1 if you're familiar? I don't remember what I said put a 1 for. I'm sorry, guys. It's Friday. It's been a week. I'm struggling. What was 1 for? Familiar is 1. Okay. All right. So you guys are pretty familiar. If you don't know, if you go right to my Leticia playlist, okay, and you don't have to watch a live. I did a pre-record. I will drop a link to it. I did a pre-record and I read out the entire exchange between Leticia to Al. Now, this is the days leading right up to her arrest, okay? For context, it is Leticia blowing Al up. Al does not respond. He only responds once at the very end. She is awake all hours of the night. She is not sleeping. It is very rapid, one end of the spectrum to the other type of text. Very sweet and kind of there for him to belittling him and ridiculing him. Then she is mocking him and their search for Gannon, kind of like she's paying attention to where they're searching on the news and then being like, why are you searching in the snow? You'll never find him in the snow. Wow, you're going to give up on him? You think he's dead? Wow, that's horrible of you. Like, are you going to meet me for the sonogram? Because she's telling him they're pregnant. She's leading Al to believe that she's pregnant. All while, and we did a side-by-side of her Google searches. You ready for how haunting this is? She's, at the same time that she is texting Al, he's alive. You know, how could you even consider that he's dead? She's Googling how often maintenance workers check underneath the bridges. How long does it take for a body decomposing to become unrecognizable? It is haunting. But as we're about to get into this interview and play it, please understand, she was not sleeping. The text messages are indicative of that. If she was sleeping, they were power naps. They were not for more than an hour to 2 hour tops at a period of time. She was not going into REM sleep. This absolutely played a major factor in her mental state. She was putting on that she was pregnant. During this interview, she claims to have a miscarriage. All right. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind now as we're about. So this is going to be March 2nd. She is officially arrested and charged with Gannon's murder. But please also remember, Gannon's body had not been found yet. Okay, so let me pull this up. All right. Oh yeah, she lied numerous times about being pregnant, apparently. No, Darlene. Please be safe, creative minds. I don't know, Megsy, and I give Al a lot of credit for being able to hold it together the way he did. I know. Well, and here's the thing with Leticia, and this is, you know, like, I know that we call her dumb a lot, but for real, like, she is, it shows how dumb she really, really is, because he did, Jesse. Detective John Grusing, hands off to him. Please keep in mind, Detective John Grusing, all those pretext calls that Allie and Bendy released and that were played during the trial, Detective John Grusing was there with Al, and you could even hear Detective John Grusing at times. And we made the joke because Detective John Grusing at one point, when Leticia hangs up, turns to Al and asks him if he wants a peanut butter sandwich. Like, they were doing work. But Detective John Grusing is brilliant. I think he had a perfect personality for Leticia. I think that she wouldn't have done as well with a female. I think it worked better because he was a male and she thought she could manipulate him, but also because he is so poised, calm, and she believed she had control, and he allowed her to believe that he had control. He didn't need to raise his voice. He just had to sit there and kind of like let her bury herself. Hi, Bellis. Please drive safe. So, all right, I'll shut up. This is March 2nd. She was just arrested, officially charged with Gannon's murder. Gannon's body had not been found yet.
If you can pull that chair back a little bit, there's something trying to do. Oh, we are going to record this. This figure protection.
Hey, now, Source.
So Leticia and John Grusing with the FBI met you in the mall parking lot. Do you know why you're here? Did they inform you, the officers, of why you're under arrest?
I'm under arrest?
Yes.
For what?
For Cannon Stauch. A warrant was issued out of Colorado.
Okay, but
She knows exactly what she's under arrest for, but I never even finished my sentence before when I was saying, you want to know how dumb she actually is? Because she had time, okay? The murder happened January 27th. She wasn't arrested till March 2nd. So in reality, she had some time to really kind of get her P's and Q's in order. And this, what we're about to watch, at least part 1, is the best she came up with. Yeah, Amber, it is. There is so much to unpack. But first thing off the bat, what I want you guys to observe, we got a double cross. Not only are Leticia's legs crossed, we also have her arms crossed, which, if you like to follow body language, a body language analysis will tell you that that symbolizes that she is closed off, she is guarded, and there is not an open flow of communication between herself and Grusing. Her legs are also pointed away from him. There is not a straightforward, open form of communication.
no, someone could have just called me. We didn't have to have like a big scene. I would have called you.
You could have just called me
Yeah,
and told me
and
I was arrested.
apologize for that. Because of the nature of the warrant, it being a murder warrant, there's, and that's what I'd like to talk with you
No,
about today. That's
before,
why we're not
darling.
having a cast of thousands here and whatever, is we would like to get to the bottom of what happened there. I know that a lot of things have gone on with your life, a little bit of how this turns out. Okay, but because you were arrested and you're not free to leave, I need you to sign an advice of rights before we can talk.
Well, I mean, so I'm getting charged with what now?
So you were charged in, the judge in Colorado Springs signed off. So the way this case worked was El Paso County got the original case. They didn't have enough manpower to work it.
Okay.
So they called the FBI. I'm part of for the FBI, an extension of the profiling unit, and I came in and assisted. And I've been helping for about the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
So our evidence response team, you've probably seen that on the news, has been doing some searches, etc. And then other FBI agents have been writing warrants.
Okay.
So a lot of warrants have been written. We've gone through the court.
Well, and that's the thing, okay? So Leticia says, okay, so wait, what am I being charged for again? She knows damn fucking well. When they come in and fucking arrest you and tell you are being arrested for murder, you hear him the first time. But he also just told you again, and you have to ask him again the third time, what am I being arrested for? But then she turns around and says, well, you guys could have just fucking called me and told me. You didn't have to make a big scene about it. I'm sorry, what, Miss Ma'am? You could have what? You could have, yeah, how is that gonna go, Leticia? Ring, ring. Hello, Letecia Stauch. Yes. You are hereby charged with murder. Could you please come and surrender? Yes, Roro. His body wasn't found till 15 days after this. The 17th he was found, 15 days after this. Yes. Honestly, it was by the grace of God he was found, and everything just worked out. Thank goodness. But this is, you guys, does that outfit look familiar? Darlene recognizes it. This is our stop, drop, and roll outfit. But this is before stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll would come after this interview.
El Paso Sheriff's Office and FBI have worked together, and we found enough, you call it probable cause, for a warrant to be issued. So that's why you're here today.
Okay, a warrant for what though?
It was for the murder.
What murder?
Cannon Stauch.
So Gannon is murdered.
That's what the evidence shows.
Okay.
And I'm happy to share with you evidence, but we can't have a conversation unless you're advised of your rights.
Okay, what am I right?
So this is an advice of rights form. I'll fill it out at the top. And you don't have to answer any question.
Oh, I am.
Okay, so I'm not going to force you to answer anything. If you want this interview to be done, it's done.
Oh, she
So
wants
we're
to talk.
in South Carolina. So I'd like you to initial these as we go through them. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning.
Duper's
If you cannot
delight.
afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before questioning if you wish. And if you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. I'm not going to force you to say anything.
Okay, so I had already had reached an attorney, but all the information is in my phone. So,
What
so it's up to
information?
you. I'm not going to force you to say.
I mean,
if you don't
I
want to,
can talk to you, but I mean, see, the last time I asked for an attorney talking to them, I wasn't allowed that after I asked.
that's not how this
So
is going to go. This would be
And I
a
believe you have more
conversation.
integrity being with the FBI that you would do that.
I've got a family to protect,
Okay,
so I'm not
so
going
I
to
don't-
violate any
I
laws.
don't mind.
So I love how she gaslights, okay? Yeah, she never did. She's so smart though, okay? But do you hear how she... So at the end, I wasn't even allowed at my last interview for a lawyer, but given that you are the FB fucking I expect that you have some more integrity than that, so you won't do the same. Excuse me, like, don't try to fucking pull that shit up here, Leticia. Okay?
Not at all.
If
But
you-
at any point, I would like to call my attorney if
Yes,
I felt
ma'am.
like. Is that okay?
That is okay.
Okay. So, can I write that in somewhere?
Yeah.
Or
Well, that's this one right here. If you decide to answer any questions without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop at any
Okay.
time. Okay. So,
I don't...
and if you need food, water, whatever else,
And there it is. Because, Tisha, don't be screaming how you were denied food, water, or bathroom breaks the same way you denied it during the initial interviews, even though you were down in fucking hot pockets left and right, okay? And Chesney, I don't know what it is. And you guys see me struggle many times to explain it to you. Because it's not even just the narcissism with her. I don't know. Leticia doesn't just check all the boxes with one thing. It's just the perfect storm that doesn't describe anybody else. Like, okay, you know, like, does she depict a narcissist here? Yes. Does she depict this here? Yes. Does she pick that? But when she has all of it all together, she's her own person, and I'm mind blown by it. I really am.
this is not, we're not going to have people with guns standing outside trying to intimidate you. I want this to be your statements in our conversation.
You think so?
Okay. So,
She inhaled that hot pocket. She
I
did.
was thinking of a lot of things to say to you today.
Did you,
'cause
Michael Kimmy?
I've been helping, I've been involved.
right.
I've unfortunately worked a lot of missing kids cases. That's why they called me to do this.
Okay.
A lot of time with Mark, who was the dad. Dylan, who actually was in Colorado Springs with Mom, went to go see Dad. This was in November of 2012.
Right.
And then he disappeared. So it's a lot like what happened here. What I think happened with Mark is friends, and Mark wouldn't let him go.
Okay.
And I think Mark got upset. I think Dylan did some things that irritated Mark. I think there was just a punch in the face sort of thing.
Right.
And I think things went downhill from there.
Well,
And I'm not saying
I
that's
just
what
want to
happened
say
with
to
you.
you, I can help you because what you're charging me with is not, or whoever, is not the case.
Okay.
Gannon is alive. Okay. And I can help you.
Okay, great.
Oh, see, it's interesting, okay? It's interesting to, because anybody who's been here, been on Alley's, been on Bendy's, we've been down, this study group of Leticia, we have seen it all, okay? So we have watched the evolution of Leticia's stories. Interesting at this point, at this juncture in time, when it was most critical. She was saying Gannon is alive. Not only that he's alive, she knows for certain she has the knowledge and can prove it. So I guess this infamous video that we hear so much about on these current calls, awaiting trial, didn't exist yet? Because if you're saying he's alive at this point, yet in the future, you're going with, I have this video on this backup iCloud account that proves that I didn't do the murder. I don't want to repeat those circumstances. It's so horrific what she said. But it's interesting how this is one of how she screwed herself the most, is no consistency with her lies at all.
But see, here's the problem. When I reached out to people about getting help, I said, hey, I need someone who's going to help me to help you guys. I couldn't get that from anyone at all.
We're happy to help you.
Okay. So I understand you might say you have like whatever evidence that you might say you have, but that's not a case. I did not hurt my child. Okay. Need more assistance besides just FBI. You're probably going to need some DEA, probably need a lot of help.
Well, I'm happy to get whatever help.
Okay.
How do you know?
But I can't help you unless people are willing to help me. And I did offer every opportunity to sit down and talk with not only my husband, but with Landon to try to come up with the best thing to do it. I really did. And I've been begging every single day, please, please, please don't say this. Okay? I know you're expert in your field. Okay? I know you may say you have whatever evidence you have, but it's just not true. Okay?
Wow.
It's not.
It's not true that Gannon's dead?
I'm not going to sit here and say 100%. I can tell you that there's really things that have occurred that I can help you guys with to know that. And it leads back to some things just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Now look at her. Once again, she's still closed off, which, yes, we would need a baseline, which would be taking Leticia in normal circumstances and comparing it to now. But just taking what we can observe right here, she still has those legs crossed. She still has the crossed hands. She's doing body language that is not open and flowing with communication. Immediately right off the bat, we're only a few minutes in. Leticia is trying to take the lead with this interrogation. Yes, exactly, Jesse, California. Everything up until now, yes, those interviews that were in the police stations were crucial. Absolutely. Anything documented like that is crucial. But this, at this point, is where she really decides her narrative. And everything else from here is down. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. And so, but right here, okay, and this is over a 4-hour interview, guys. She immediately takes the charge and she's trying to take the lead. And that's why I think Grusing worked very well with her. Because one, if it was a female, I think they would have clashed. I think they would have clashed energies, number one. If it was a male agent with her, who even had like my personality, someone who is more loud and outspoken, it wouldn't have worked with her. She would have gotten defensive, and I don't know where it would have gone. But Grusing's energy, where he allowed her to believe she was controlling it, it worked. Because as you know, Leticia hangs herself with her words. If you give her the room, she will talk and talk and talk and talk. That is what they want in an interrogation. Talk your little heart off, sweetheart, because all it's going to be used is at trial. But you see immediately she is trying to take the narrative where a few minutes in, you are just told that you are charged with murder, and immediately you are admitting to knowing who is involved, having evidence to prove your innocence, and to really hold the people accountable. That is a lot to admit. Think about any other interrogation you've ever watched in true crime. Have you ever seen someone right off the bat admit to having so much within minutes? Hi, Eyes of Brown.
Okay, that's the truth.
Okay.
That is the very truth. And every day that went by, I had to do nothing but not only protect myself, but protect my family in this, protect other people in this, and that's just what it's been.
So I think our biggest problem is what happened at the house then.
At the house?
Yes.
Well, there's nothing that would have happened at the house that has anything to do with what I'm talking about at all. That has nothing to do with anything. Because you guys have clearly put out this information about Anna not coming home and then this and that and the other. And I get, like I said, you're experts. I get people with forensics are experts. I understand that. But it's just not the truth. It's just not the truth.
So what I also want you guys to pay attention to is when she's saying things like, it's just not the truth and things like that. Pay attention to which way her head is shaking. It's not going to be all of the time, but sometimes you're going to see her head shake the wrong way. Like it's just not the truth, like this, when it should be like this. Because sometimes your body fights a lie. Now, more experienced liars or psychopaths get away with it easier because they could almost believe the lie. But already she's accounting for the horrific scene, which is the evidence. At this point, they were pursuing trial, which let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Would they have been able to secure a conviction if they had not found Gannon 15 days after? But please keep this in mind that they were going forward with trial without a body, which is very hard to do. So what they are going off of, besides all of the incriminating statements, is the evidence in that house, the horrific scene in that bedroom. And she just said anything that was in that house has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, because Leticia can't account for all of that blood evidence. Now, she already, again, had a heads up about this. She knew about what they found in there. Think about the pretext calls. Think about Al confronting her and asking what happened. Like, he described the amount of blood that was underneath that carpet. And she had time to think about it. And this is the best that she's come up with.
And until I know that I got to get help from some people other than someone just having me in a room.
You got to get help to do that.
I got to get help to give everyone what they need, because I'm going to need my mom protected.
Hey, Shacto.
Okay, I'm going to need my brother and sister protected. And most importantly, I'm going to need Harley protected. And on that same note, I'm also going to need other people in Colorado protected. And see, people say FBI can offer that protection.
You can.
How?
If it involves if it involves finding an 11-year-old, then we can.
And it means that we can have new identities.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
I've had to do that before. We call it an informant, but we can do it for the general public. Who else would you trust?
I don't know at this point, sir. I don't know. There's nothing that happened at any house. Nothing that happened at any house.
Look.
That would have.
Okay. What did I just tell you guys to pay attention to? There's nothing at any house. And she's starting by shaking her head no. But watch. Okay, I'm going to jump back. When she says there's nothing at any house, she goes from shaking to a quick this, okay? It's very interesting. Anybody who follows body behavior analysis, that we do slips all of the time when we're lying like this.
I don't know.
Watch.
There's nothing that happened at any house.
Did you see it?
That happened at any house that would have hurt.
Did you see it? There's nothing at any house. There's nothing. Did you see it? It's a slip. Your body will fight you when you are lying.
Nothing that happened at any house that would have hurt, harmed, murdered, done anything to anyone.
Okay. Debbie Doodles. Thank you, Debbie Doodles. Again, that was so generous and so kind. Congratulations. If you just got a membership from Debbie Doodles, please thank her in the chat. Welcome to all of our newest members. Hooray. Thank you. Thank you. I think I have it on a loop. Yeah, I do have it on the loop. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. But again, we still have the crossed body language. Okay. So we have the crossed legs, crossing out that open flow of communication. But she's also going like this. Okay. When people go like this, yes, I love the behavior panel. When people go like this, okay, they're trying to be assertive with what they are saying. People tend to do this when you are trying to lay down hard truths. So right there, she is trying to lay down absolutely nothing happened, no injuries, no nothing, okay?
Okay, wrong place, wrong time.
You were in the wrong place, or Gannon was?
I was.
What about Gannon?
Or Tisha.
We all were in the wrong place. Even my family was in the wrong place at our time. Even Lena, even Harley. Okay, there's all of us in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I swear to you on that.
Hey, Crime Watch Lover.
But I gotta get
just like you have trust issues. Let me tell you where I am.
Okay.
So I'm with the FBI. Where when a child goes missing, if they're underage,
right,
then we can get them.
Look at the body language. So she uncrossed her legs, but her arms are crossed. But not only that, and I know it's not the best positioning of the camera, she is not directly facing Grusing. Her chair is shifted a little bit to the left and off. And, you know, it does matter. She is not direct face-to-face with him. He is face-to-face with her, and she is slightly off. And it's stuff that I never knew anything about until I started watching these behavior analysis and body language. But they're like, you subconsciously do it. But if you perfectly align yourself with someone face to face, it'll give you more anxiety. So people will shift even the littlest bit like that because it makes them feel more protected and more not seen. If that makes sense. So she uncrossed her legs at this point, but she's kind of like curdling her stomach, like, so she's reserved, but she is not completely face to face with Grusing.
Involved, and it can be even a kidnapping. So if Gannon is moved from one point to another without his,
leg again,
will, then it's a child kidnapping.
Right.
And so that's what we're working this as. And with me as a federal employee, with me working a federal case, because right now it's filed with the district attorney,
right,
but the U.S. attorney could file it as well.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
The U.S. attorney is the federal prosecutors.
Gotcha.
Right now it's on the state.
Rocking.
When you're talking to me,
rocking is a self-soothing technique. So it's indicative of symptoms that we cannot observe. Symptoms like she is having anxiety, her stomach may be in knots, whatever symptoms that is making her nervous. And so we will rock as a self-soothing technique. So not only is she crossed, cradling her stomach, slumped over, but she is rocking, which is self-soothing.
we are recording this for your integrity in mind.
Right.
But if
Yes,
you'd rather
across
not
the
say
leg
something,
away.
I mean, if I would rather you just say I don't want to answer it instead of telling me something that's not true.
Okay.
Because there's something called false statements, which is it's U.S. Code 1001, to where if you lie to us during an investigation, that can be a year of prison time.
Right.
So that's why I said on this last one, if you want to not answer
Please
a question,
don't bring
I'm not going to
political
push
shit
you.
in my chat.
Okay. So with these people, taking Gannon or whatever else, if it's not
You
true,
guys could delete that comment.
just say I'd rather not answer that. Okay, because we're different than your local detectives and whatever else. It's not a felony to lie to them.
Okay.
Okay, so my goal, though,
Hey,
is to find Gannon.
Right.
And if you need protection, if there truly is someone out there, we can provide that.
That's not me, though.
Happen, though, I will
That's not
need
me,
you
though.
to explain what happened from that night.
Which night?
The night that he disappeared. Because I've read.
Second thing she just did. She took her sleeves and went like that. Okay, it was very quick, but she took her sleeves, so she's turtling. She's trying to retreat into her shell. What you will do is you will try to make yourself essentially as small as possible. You don't realize you're doing it either in the moment. But she is just pulling herself kind of into her clothing, making herself as small as she can, retreating in.
I've looked at all the news stories. We have been listening to your phone for the last month. It probably doesn't surprise you.
Okay.
We're listening to other people's phones as well, trying to find this kid.
Okay.
And we know from the internet and whatever else, there's a lot of stories out there. So if someone truly took Gannon, though, we need to know the real story, because you put out quite a few different stories.
I put out to who?
To you. Well, we heard a lot of the stories to Al.
To Albert?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like talk?
Okay, right there. So she finds out they have been tapped into her phone for the last month and listening to everything. And already she's like, shit, And then he's like, we need to know what's up, because you've been putting out a lot of stories. And then what does she do? Putting out a lot of stories to who? To who? She is, look, do you see her hands anymore? She turtled herself into her shell. She got very nervous. And so without thinking, she is pulling herself in, making herself essentially smaller. That's what she's doing. Her body language is very indicative of where her mental state is. She does not like that they've been listening all of those pretext calls, and we only have the pretext calls to Al. Imagine everybody she was talking to.
We heard a lot of the stories to Al.
To Albert?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like talking to him? Oh, okay. So let me just explain that to you. And you might think that's like super, like.
I'm not going to judge you here, Leticia.
Whatever. To him was the reason I already knew someone was listening to him, but because of him not ever like being like supportive, and I tried originally to talk to him when he first got there, that was the only reason I said those things to him, was just because I was out of anger and out of like hurt and not being able to have like support. It was nothing to do with like I'm sitting here going to tell you these things. That was just.
Let that sink in. Oh, to Al? Let me tell you right now, you guys, this is a fucking interrogation for murder, okay? I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. And we're only 10 minutes in, okay? Think about those pretext calls. Think about the things she told Al on those pretext calls. They were brutal. They went from, it was an accident, he hit his head, the most crazy, the fake pregnant baby full of cash, most bizarre shit ever, okay? And now she's saying, oh, I knew somebody was listening to Al's phone, but I only told him all of that bullshit because I was upset with him because he wasn't being supportive. I wouldn't lie to you now, though. Even if that was truthful, do you know how incredibly horrible that is? You lied to him and told him a bunch of stories about his child's death, accidental death, because you were mad at him. And she had time. She had time to think of what her story was going to be. This was it.
Anger, stupidity, to, and I already knew, like, I even, if you heard it, you heard me say a lot of times, I know people are listening because I know at the same time. So.
You guys can remove that comment. 3 blessings. If you do it again, I'm gonna block you. Please leave the political shit out of my chat now.
Someone called every time. I could hear people.
Right.
I knew that. So me saying those things to him was just being just, what is the word you want to call it? Selfish or facetious or whatever you want to call it. Just because that was, I was hurt by him not wanting to work together to figure this out, because I did have, like, originally initial different thoughts on certain things, and that was me trying to, like, to basically read him and try to figure the situations out. So I understand that you may have heard those or whatever you may have heard, and that's okay, because that totally was not it. That was not me trying to be.
Right.
That was just being stupid to him.
So I have a question for you in regards to that. Were you of sound mind? I mean, did you have? Are you undergoing any treatment for anxiety or any depression or anything like that right now? Or?
I mean, like, you mean, like, I don't, I've had anxiety since I was, like, 16, 17-ish maybe, but, like, as far as, like, undergoing, like, any kind of special treatment, or, you know, like, sometimes I might have to take, like, a little Razagram or something like that.
Right.
Okay. So, again, she's retreating. She's going like this, but does she mention bipolar? Does she mention schizophrenia? All of these diagnoses that we hear about on these calls we're listening to, did she ever mention that? Do you go and get any treatment? It's very simple. No, Jim John Doe, no, you don't. Thank you so much, Mindy. She says right and okay a lot. I do that when I want someone to stop talking, yet pretending to be engaged. Spot on with the body language, MJ. You're right. She does right. She does it kind of to acknowledge what he's saying as if she's absorbing it, but she's not. She's not absorbing it. There's two. She listens to respond. She doesn't listen to absorb, you know?
Right.
But I didn't see any, like, counselors or, like, anything for any kind of, like, depression, or, and then plus two, like, right now, well, I'm sure if you already got medical records, I'm 8 weeks pregnant, so I can't take any kind of.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure if you already got my medical records, you would know I'm 8 weeks pregnant. So I'm not allowed to take any medication. Now, let's jump back for a moment and watch the body language when she says that. Okay. So we got a double cross again. We got a leg cross. We got an arm cross. We got a turtle. Now let's listen.
And then plus two, like, right now, well, I'm sure if you already got medical records, I'm 8 weeks pregnant, so I can't take any kind of,
okay,
like, I mean, I wish I could, because then it would help a lot with anxiety, but
Right.
I can't. So,
Okay.
but
So you were upset.
Did you see? We got a no scratch with that one. We got a fidgety nose scratch. Wiping away the bullshit, are we, Tisha? Eight weeks pregnant. You would know that if you have my medical records. I'm not allowed to take any of the medication. I wish I could, but yeah. Okay.
Mind when you were talking to Al, you were upset with him and upset with the situation of him not being by your side through this whole thing.
Right. But then at the same time, like, I have to sit back and think that, you know, in a person's brain, you hear 100 different things. You do get like, discombobulated and just try to like do whatever. And I just wanted him to know, because he knows, like, I've been taking care of our kids like for so long while he was gone and their mom was gone, and I'm not here to bash either one of them. They had a lot of different separate situations going on that I've always taken care of the kids, and so there's been times I've protected them from so many people.
You basically had to raise him on your own because he was gone a lot.
Well, he was gone a lot, and mom was doing whatever she was doing, you know. So with that, like, I've had to step in and protect them a lot, so many times.
What kind of dad would you say Al was to Gannon or is to Gannon?
Oh, he's a good dad. Like, I mean, as far as like being like there for him, and like, you know, how can I say it? Like, if he says, hey, I want to go do something, Albert works a lot, so he's tired and his hours are like kind of, you know, up in the air here and there. But for the most part, he like is always trying to make sure he put, you know, like the kids, military first, and always will be, and that's the mindset. And then,
did you go into the marriage knowing that?
Kids.
That military was first?
Well, I grew up like knowing that my stepdad was here. Actually, that's why I was looking at that guy's name. But my stepdad was here growing up in the Air Force Base. So I lived on like a lot of Air Force bases and things like that. So like, I maybe didn't understand it from parent perspective. I mean, I'm sorry, spouse perspective, like my mom's perspective. Right. But I did understand it from like a child perspective. But the thing about it was, is Albert didn't have to like go be deployed or anything like that. It was mostly like work through the night type thing. So it was like we were blessed in that way of not having to, you know, like have to see him go overseas.
These are sure different opinions than the last emails we saw the days leading up before the murder of how she felt about Al and his work and his schedule. Right? Apparently she didn't hear Grusing when he told her that he's been listening the last month, or that he's had access to her phone.
Or something like that.
Right. And you guys have been married 6 years, 5 years? 5
years.
5 years. And you came to the marriage with Harley.
Right.
Yeah. And then Elena's the youngest.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then we had like maybe, I think 4 or 5 went to like kind of midterm miscarriages because we always try to like have kids. And I don't know.
Okay. Now, and I cannot say for certain that this is a lie, so I'm going to tread lightly. Hey, LFT. Cannot confirm or deny she had miscarriages. These are claims she's made. But as she, what I do know is she at least lied about this. So if she's willing to lie at this point, I have no problem believing that she had lied before. She seems like the type of chick where if you threaten to break up with her, she's going to say that she's pregnant. I will also say I know, Bundy. I will also say she claims to have a miscarriage by the end of this interrogation. So, what I will note is the body language. When she says that she had 2 other miscarriages, I want you to recognize that she adjusts herself in this seat and then recrosses her legs. She is shifting and readjusting, which, yes, of course, could possibly just be her readjusting herself. Or if you're watching the behavior panel or something like that, they would note it as possibly a lie. That is something that is making her, as she's telling the lie, it causes you to kind of offset the fact that you're telling the lie. And so to distract yourself from the lie, you will kind of adjust yourself and move.
Kind of midterm miscarriages because we always try to like have kids, and I don't know, like the midterm miscarriage, maybe I think 4 or 5 want to like kind of midterm miscarriages because we always try to like have kids, and I don't know, like something must have happened like when I get to a certain point, so we would have had more kids.
Right.
But yeah.
Do you think Al was faithful to you? Was he cheating on you?
I don't like, we never had like any conversations until like, of course, Mad, like recently, but like.
Al Stauch cheating, Colorado Springs. Bitch, they had your Google searches. You used Google as your damn diary. Al Stauch cheating, Colorado Springs. But okay. Welcome, Rhonda. Thank you for becoming a member.
Prior to that, we never had like buses, or it might be something like Albert type of person. When he got to work, he just liked to come home. He wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go do this with people. He just wasn't that type of person, and that was the good part, because he wasn't, like, not saying you can't, like, I know, sure, you might say if a football game's on, you might want to go and watch with your friends.
Right.
But usually, for the most part, we do it together or go over there and do something together, but it was never really like having our own people that we did things with and kind of together. So we never like had issues of anything like that. Most of the time, the issues that we always had was I never wanted the kids to ever come back here a lot of times during like their breaks, and we would get like, I don't want to say arguments about it, but he would always say, well, I have to, I'm obligated, to do these things.
So you don't think he was cheating on you prior to this whole thing going on with Candy? Did you suspect?
That Albert was cheating on me?
Mm-hmm.
No. There's been times in the past where I've saw that he's talked to other women, like on messages and things like that. But then he's also, like, you guys have my phone in the past, he would have saw that he's always apologized for, like those things. Like,
oh, but Miss Ma'am, I thought Al engaged in relationships, thruples, with even men, according to you and your current calls we're listening to. Do you notice how Grusing does a very good job at redirecting her back around to, so he wasn't cheating. I don't need all the fluff. I don't need to take the long route to get to the destination. Just tell me what the destination is. He's trying to get her to talk about things that could potentially be a trigger for why she would do the murder. But all right, guys. So I know we didn't get through much, but I want to pause it there and we'll pick up here tomorrow, because I know Allie and Bendy are about to go live in 2 minutes with the June calls over on Bendy's channel. So I will drop the link for Bendy's channel. So it's gonna take a couple of lives for us to get through this interview. But we'll tackle more tomorrow. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope you guys follow us over to Bendy's. Did I do? No, I dropped Bendy's Patreon. Hold on. There we go. Gently. I could stop dropping all this out, Pepper. So I'm dropping the link to Jen Lou's. Here's the link to Jen Lou's. They're going live in 2 minutes. So I will meet you guys over there. But real quick. Our missing child for tonight is Oliver Acosta Vasquez. He's been missing since April 28th, 2022 out of Center Reach, New York. He's believed to be with his non-custodial father, Jose Acosta. If you or anyone you know has information on their whereabouts, please contact the New York State Missing Persons Clearinghouse at the number located in blue. So we will be over at Bendy's. Other than that, I will see you guys back here tomorrow to pick up where we left off. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys shortly.
For the interviews, because I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. You too, Brennan. You guys got to look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Okay, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Hit top, rollie, boy, we know you phony. Take her to the mall and buy her what she want it. Already smashed, so I'ma let the homie. RP my cash and RP a Kobe. If you're born in September, then you know you're my type. If I see you on Tinder, then I gotta swipe right. If you're born in October, then you're just like me. Here's a resume, can you fill this out, please? What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that.